Prepare to unleash your darkest fears with Netflix's top 20 scariest horror movies. From heart-pounding scares to twisted tales of terror, these creepy selections will haunt your dreams. Number 20. I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. Nurse Lily moves into a decaying New England home to care for an elderly horror novelist, unaware that the walls around her are thick with whispers of the dead. As the days stretch into an eerie stillness, she senses a presence, a quiet, lingering spirit tethered to the house by an unfinished story. Time bends and memories bleed into the present, twisting Lily's perception until the veil between life and death thins to nothing. Shadows creep, voices echo, and the house itself seems to breathe with secrets too dreadful to forget. Directed by Oz Perkins, the film is a slow, poetic ghost story steeped in atmosphere and unease. Number 19, The Dare.
This is your home now, understand? You'll grow big and strong, just like him.
A family man's quiet evening is shattered when he's violently kidnapped and wakes up chained in a grimy basement with 3 strangers, each of them tormented and confused. As their captor forces them to play deadly games, dark secrets bubble to the surface, linking their pasts in twisted, unexpected ways. Outside the cell, his wife and children vanish into silence, hinting at a larger scheme driven by vengeance and cruelty. Directed by Giles Alderson, The Dare is a brutal, blood-soaked descent into captivity and guilt, where pain is not just punishment but retribution. The setting is claustrophobic, the violence unflinching, and the moral rot seeps deep, gnawing at the mind like a parasite. Number 18, Kadaver.
Hotellet scenen.
In a post-apocalyptic city ravaged by nuclear disaster and starvation, a desperate family attends a mysterious dinner theater hosted in a lavish hotel, lured by the promise of food and escape. The guests are told they're part of an immersive show, but as the play unfolds, reality distorts and the boundaries of the performance become terrifyingly unclear. When people begin to disappear, it becomes evident the show is a mask for something far more gruesome. As paranoia spreads, the mother must fight to uncover the hotel's grim secrets and save her family from becoming part of a nightmarish production. The film is a grim Norwegian horror fable where desperation breeds horror and illusion becomes a trap. Number 17, Cam.
Hey, we have a new friend.
That person is not me.
You stole my face and now I'm going to get it back.
Alice, a rising cam girl, thrives on performance and anonymity, until one day she logs on to find herself replaced by an identical imposter still streaming under her name. Locked out of her account, her income, and her very identity, she spirals into a chilling mystery where no one believes her, and every clue leads further into a distorted online mirror of herself. As she hunts the source of this terrifying copycat, the film explores the obsessive world of adult webcam culture, digital surveillance, and the fracturing of self-image in a virtual space. Every attempt to reclaim her life is met with cold, algorithmic resistance as she descends deeper into a twisted web of identity theft and psychological collapse. Cam is a sleek, techno-horror nightmare that preys on our fear of losing control in the digital age. Number 16, Night of the Wolf.
Attacks like these happen all the time.
Can you make silver bullets?
Yeah.
Can you do silver shotgun shells?
Ambrose, a blind war veteran, moves into a peaceful retirement community, only to survive a savage nighttime attack that leaves his neighbor torn to pieces. The authorities blame a wild animal, but Ambrose suspects something far more unnatural stalking the quiet streets under the full moon. As the next lunar cycle approaches, he prepares for battle using instincts sharper than sight, setting traps and uncovering the monstrous truth behind the seemingly tranquil neighborhood. What follows is a tense countdown to carnage, where age, isolation, and lycanthropy collide in blood-splattered horror. The film is a gritty, slow-burn werewolf tale anchored by a stoic, no-nonsense protagonist. Number 15, Starry Eyes.
In the earth, join us. In the skies.
Sarah, a struggling actress in Los Angeles, dreams of fame. But when she lands an audition with a mysterious production company, her ambition spirals into something far darker. As she endures a series of increasingly bizarre casting rituals, her body begins to change, rotting from within as her mind fractures. Desperate for success, she sacrifices everything, friends, morality, even her own humanity, to seize the role of a lifetime. But the price of fame is blood-soaked, twisted, and irreversible. Directed by Kevin Kulsh, Starry Eyes is a grotesque blend of body horror and occult dread, a descent into the seedy underbelly of Hollywood's promises. It unravels like a fever dream, where ambition is a disease and the spotlight only burns. Number 14, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. A group of wealthy, self-absorbed 20-somethings gather in a secluded mansion during a storm for a party game that turns chillingly real. What begins as a playful round of bodies, bodies, bodies quickly spirals into panic when one of them ends up truly dead, and no one knows who to trust. Paranoia spreads like wildfire as old grudges surface, secrets are weaponized, and the night becomes a bloody game of survival. Each accusation tightens the noose as the group's fragile facades crumble under pressure and fear. The film is a sharp, claustrophobic slasher laced with pitch-black humor and razor-edge tension. Number 13, The Perfection.
They're in your hand. You have to get them out, Lizzie. Lizzie, you have to...
When Charlotte, a former cello prodigy haunted by personal tragedy, returns to the elite music academy that once shaped her, she finds her place taken by Lizzie, its new star. What begins as admiration quickly twists into obsession, seduction, and a shared spiral of hallucination and horror. Their journey takes them across continents, down dark alleys of trauma, manipulation, and monstrous secrets buried beneath the Academy's polished facade. As the lines between revenge and redemption blur, the truth behind their torment is slowly peeled back in skin-crawling layers. The film is an elegant yet savage psychological thriller that blends body horror with art house surrealism. It plays like a symphony of madness, disorienting, stylish, and dripping with dread. Number 12, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. In the fall of 1968, a group of teenagers stumbles upon a haunted book hidden within the crumbling walls of a long-abandoned mansion. As they flip through its pages, chilling tales begin writing themselves, each one manifesting as a terrifying reality that hunts them down, one by one. From scarecrows come to life to pale corpses searching for missing limbs, every story unfolds with deadly precision and unstoppable dread. As they race to uncover the truth behind the book's cursed author, they realize some stories demand to be finished in blood. The film is a creature-filled anthology nightmare soaked in nostalgia and darkness. Number 11, Next Door. After a bitter breakup, John retreats into his apartment, only to be lured next door by two mysterious sisters who seem to know far too much about his life. What begins as an erotic curiosity quickly warps into a psychological labyrinth of manipulation, memory, and violence. Trapped in a surreal nightmare, John's grip on reality slips as the walls between past guilt and present horror collapse around him. Each interaction peels back a darker layer of his psyche, revealing a trauma he cannot escape. The film is a haunting Norwegian horror thriller soaked in claustrophobia and dread. With its oppressive atmosphere and fragmented storytelling, it plays like a fever dream, where nothing can be trusted, not even your own mind. Here are 4 other movies you have to see. The Babysitter, Killer Queen.
I watched you all die!
We are dead. Duh.
Clearly you guys are into some heavy cosplay.
2 years after surviving a satanic blood cult, Cole struggles with high school and the fact that no one believes his story. But when the cult unexpectedly returns during a lakeside party, the night descends into a wild, blood-soaked game of survival. Day Shift. A hard-working father in Los Angeles uses his pool cleaning job as a front for hunting and killing vampires. When the vampire underworld begins to shift, he finds himself up against a powerful new threat that could cost him his family. Armed with blades, bullets, and one chance to stay afloat, he dives into a high-octane war beneath the sunlit streets. The Room.
I took a shortcut.
You used the room to make a baby.
A baby is not a thing.
Yes, it is.
A couple moves into a remote house and discovers a hidden room that grants any material wish. But when they ask for a child, their dream becomes a chilling nightmare. What begins as a miracle spirals into obsession, control, and consequences beyond imagination. You'll never find me.
I don't know, I just ran. I'd really need a lift into town.
On a stormy night in a desolate caravan park, a stranger knocks on Patrick's door seeking shelter. But her presence slowly unravels something deeply unsettling. Tension builds between them as secrets surface and reality begins to fracture. In this quiet chamber of mistrust, the truth comes knocking, and it's not alone. Number 10, the Queen of Black Magic. When a man returns to the rural orphanage where he was raised, bringing his wife and children along to visit a dying caretaker, he finds the place steeped in forgotten trauma and unspeakable evil. Strange occurrences quickly escalate into full-blown terror as dark magic awakens, conjured by a vengeful spirit wronged by the sins of the past. The orphanage's halls twist into a house of torment, where insects crawl beneath the skin and mirrors reflect unspeakable horrors. As secrets unravel, the group realizes that redemption comes at a horrifying cost, and the past will not stay buried. Directed by Kimo Stamboil and written by Joko Anwar, the film is a relentless Indonesian horror soaked in gore, guilt, and the supernatural. Number 9, it's What's Inside.
Then this just transfers the files.
8 college friends reunite for a pre-wedding celebration at the groom's family estate. Their laughter and nostalgia shattered when an estranged peer named Forbes arrives carrying a strange suitcase and an even stranger proposition. What begins as a playful body-swapping game using a bizarre device turns into a kaleidoscopic nightmare, revealing buried resentments, subconscious desires, and fractured identities. As each consciousness leaps into another's frame, the group tumbles deeper into chaos, questioning who they are beneath the veneer of friendship. Directed by Greg Jardin, the film is a brilliantly twisted sci-fi comedy horror that fuses surreal visuals, jittery pacing, and dark humor into a demented social experiment. Number 8, I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
And time passes through us, blowing like cold wind.
A young woman travels with her boyfriend to meet his parents at their remote farmhouse, burdened by the nagging thought that she's ready to end the relationship. But once they arrive, time unravels, faces shift, and reality becomes a swirling fog of dread and distortion. Each moment stretches into eerie stillness, where memories blend with fantasy, and the house itself seems to breathe with existential despair. As the visit spirals into surreal horror, she finds herself trapped in a looping maze of identity, regret, and inner collapse. Directed by Charlie Kaufman, the film is a haunting psychological puzzle that blurs the boundaries between thought and terror. Number 7, Night Watch.
The Night Watch.
In modern-day Moscow, an age-old truce holds a fragile balance between the forces of light and darkness. Anton, a weary Night Watch operative, polices the supernatural underworld, where vampires, shapeshifters, and witches walk among humans unseen. But when a young boy emerges as a powerful seer whose allegiance could tip the eternal battle, Anton is thrust into a chaotic spiral of prophecy, bloodshed, and destiny. The city becomes a battleground cloaked in shadows where every neon glow hides something ancient and lethal. The film is a dark fantasy thriller drenched in gothic style and urban decay, blending horror with high-concept myth. It's a vision of apocalypse wrapped in sorcery and streetlights, where the war between good and evil pulses just beneath the surface. Number 6, Chained.
How long have you been here? Since I was 9.
After a young boy is abducted by a taxi-driving serial killer, he's forced to grow up in captivity, chained like a dog, trained to clean up after murders, and stripped of everything but survival. Years pass in silence and obedience as the boy becomes a teenager known only as Rabbit, shaped by brutality and fear. But beneath the surface, something festers. The question of whether he will become the monster or break free from him. The house becomes a prison of blood and broken minds where escape is both a physical and psychological war. Directed by Jennifer Lynch, Chained is a grim, emotionally harrowing descent into captivity and trauma, exploring the monstrous consequences of control. Number 5, Spring.
I have a medical condition that comes and goes, and it's a very long story.
After the death of his mother and a bar fight gone wrong, Evan flees to the Italian countryside in search of peace. but instead finds Louise, a beguiling woman with secrets older than time. As their romance deepens, so does the horror of her condition, a terrifying, transformative cycle tied to ancient biology and myth. Each day with her is a fragile moment stolen from inevitable mutation, where love blossoms in the shadow of something monstrous. What starts as a tender escape becomes a haunting confrontation with the nature of humanity, mortality, and the beasts we carry inside. Spring is a lyrical body horror romance that defies genre, equal parts beautiful and grotesque. It lures you in with love, then slowly reveals the nightmare pulsing beneath the skin. Number 4, Byzantium. Clara and Eleanor are mother and daughter, but also vampires, centuries old and forever on the run, hiding in the shadows of modern society. They take refuge in a decaying seaside hotel named Byzantium, where Eleanor begins to write her tragic story, and the truth of their blood-soaked past surfaces. As enemies from their secretive vampire order close in, the fragile peace unravels and ancient rules clash with a hunger for freedom. Their bond is deep, but darkness runs deeper, feeding off secrets and sorrow. Byzantium is a gothic tale of immortality, drenched in melancholy, crimson, and moonlight. Number 3, The Medium. In rural Thailand, a documentary crew follows Nim, a respected shaman believed to be the spiritual vessel of a local goddess. But when her niece Mink begins exhibiting violent and erratic behavior, it becomes clear that something far more sinister has taken root. As ancient rituals clash with unspeakable possession, the cameras capture a descent into chaos where family curses unravel and sacred traditions are drenched in blood. The deeper they film, the more they awaken, and the spirits watching are no longer silent. The Medium is a devastating found-footage horror steeped in Southeast Asian folklore and spiritual terror. Its chilling realism and unrelenting dread turn every frame into a portal for something malevolent. Number 2, Under the Shadow. In war-torn 1980s, Tehran, a mother and daughter, struggle to survive not only the bombs falling outside, but a darker, unseen force creeping within their apartment. As Shide tries to protect her child in the absence of her husband, strange occurrences begin to escalate. Whispered voices, shifting shadows, and an ancient evil known as the Jinn stalking them through the cracks of fear and grief. The building empties, but they remain, trapped in a war zone, both physical and supernatural. With every blackout, the terror grows, binding their souls to a presence that feeds on despair. The film is a chilling fusion of psychological and paranormal horror, where political chaos and ancient folklore entwine into suffocating dread. Number 1, Bone Tomahawk. When a local doctor and several townsfolk vanish from the frontier town of Bright Hope, Sheriff Hunt forms a small posse to track the culprits, believed to be a savage, inhuman tribe lurking beyond the canyon. What follows is a slow, burning, blood-soaked journey into desolation, where civilization's veneer crumbles against primal brutality. As they venture deeper into the wilderness, they discover horrors beyond imagination, ritualistic violence, cannibalism, and a tribe untouched by time. The desert becomes a graveyard of sanity, where courage means nothing against the monstrous unknown. The film fuses Western grit with visceral horror, unraveling with grim patience until it erupts into unflinching carnage. It's a harrowing descent where bullets run out, but the screams don't. Here are 4 other movies you have to see. Bloody hell.
Don't let them hear you. I eat.
After a violent act of heroism lands him in prison, Rex moves to Finland for a fresh start, only to be abducted by a twisted family with terrifying plans. Trapped in a basement, missing a leg and battling madness, he must rely on his darker instincts to escape. With his inner voice as both ally and enemy, survival becomes a blood-soaked reckoning. Anaconda. A documentary film crew ventures deep into the Amazon to capture rare footage, only to encounter a monstrous man-eating anaconda that stalks them through the jungle. As their boat winds deeper into uncharted territory, trust fractures and survival becomes the only goal. Watch her.
Or scream.
No! No! Irina screamed.
Julia relocates to Bucharest with her husband and soon becomes convinced that a mysterious man in the building across the street is watching her. As paranoia mounts, the city's language barrier and her isolation twist every glance and shadow into a threat. When local women begin disappearing, her nightmare may no longer be imagined. The House of the Devil. A broke college student takes a mysterious babysitting job at a remote mansion during a lunar eclipse, only to find herself lured into a satanic ritual. The house grows colder, the night grows stranger, and every creaking floorboard whispers of impending doom.
That's him.